They have they have no money and they have no background. I went there for the planting trees, but those area people they are usually. I try to start agriculture business there, but I also ask for a specialist for the capability of the agriculture, the places we are can capable or not. But it's impossible. What kind of gradient, what kind of grain plant? But it's impossible to get money from this land. So I very skeptical. How come those people living there for many years? Impossible. It's impossible to keep living, sustain life there, but still they are living. But
so they live off?
They are human being, but human being. So Japanese people, Western people, I can't believe that kind of level of life. And I went there, I stayed for a week, and lived there and take the same food. But Chinese food is kind of sort of bad taste is my first experience. I cannot eat it. Just the chicken, they put the whole chicken put in the that's just kind of a bowl, big bowl. Just, how am I going to eat it? It tastes bad, terrible. So this is the first time experience Chinese food so terrible. So, but still many people live there. But unfortunately, they have TV. Okay, they can look at TV and they have good food, good clothes, good things, good house. And this sort of things is they're going to change their attitude. But poor. This next week I'm going to study for this Chinese poverty something. But poor.
How are they called? The Uyghur?
Huh? Uyghur. Uyghur is a race.
Uyghur.
So.
They don't have house. They have they move around. Right?
Oh, these nomads?
Nomad.
Nomads.
Oh, do you know nomad people? They smell.
Oh, they don't smell themselves.
Yeah, this is they say I'm Chinese, but they are surely Chinese, but smell. What kind of smell is like
food.
Animal.
Yeah,
so they live close with animals, like just like
sheep.
Europeans
sheep.
also. Yeah, they live with animals, so you start to smell like
Sheep.
animals.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I feel the Korean smells like kimchi. Actually.
Yeah, that's true.
Kimchi
Like
smell?
Indian people smell spicy.
Yeah,
So,
I can smell
African
Korean.
people also have
Korean
a particular smell.
Yeah,
What is
kimchi.
that smell? What is that smell?
Sometimes
Until I
spicy.
actually ran out of soap and I started to buy that soap. It's just
The soap?
the soap smells. It's not a nice smell, but everybody smells that. Apparently in Africa they like that kind of smell in soap. That's how soap smells. But I don't like it.
So poor. The Vietnam is the same.
You-
Vietnam is same. Is poor is poor.
Hey, you were in the middle of the first.
Poor is very poor.
Mm.
How come poor? It's poor is poor. 100 years for poor. Right? They live in cave, but just only 60 years ago they coming out from cave.
But it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Because if you had good education, you went to a certain school, then you project whatever you experience to your children. So you're going to set goals for your children. You're going to educate them accordingly. You have certain expectations as to what they going to achieve in life. So,
but I understand for if to go give education to Japanese people, it's 100 million the same place, and not so much the gap is difference among Japanese, but China is different. And so 100 million to 100 million people give them education useless. It's kind of monkey and human being in the middle.
it's maybe it requires a
Generation.
generation.
Yeah.
A generation.
Because I live there, but I know this is different. It's not like a human being, low ground. India is the same. I think if living in China, living in India, maybe they understand. Different people. for 1,000 years, this living kind of slave, give them education to keep going better? I don't think so. This monkey is monkey.
Well, I mean,
Like
I don't really believe in the monkey, but there is actually something that I read once, and that really made me kind of like huh? So they found when they were at the peak of the HIV epidemic, they found people in Africa, women in Africa who had been working as prostitutes who did not catch HIV, and HIV was so rampant. How come these women did not catch HIV? Because basically they had a genetic different background. So they started to study these women, like, okay, well, maybe that was the key into discovering a cure for HIV, but basically it was just genetic difference. So they were not really the same kind of humans as the rest of us.
Like 1.3 billion population in China, right? And I don't think this is, we try to egalitarian kind of system is not appropriate. My feeling, no, I live in those areas.
But I mean, okay, but then the question is, equal rights and equal opportunities, should they always go hand in hand?
Yeah, in China, communists is try to handle equality for those people, but where I planted in the area, is I don't know how many people, 2 million, 5 million, but in the history, the first time, 10 years ago, they told me only one student went to university, only one person from several million population, only one. I asked them, how come? Because they cannot send them to the school. So poor, elementary school, even the elementary school is only they can send them to elementary school, not more. What kind of food they eat is unbelievable. This level so low. Do they have clothes? Not so many.
Yeah, but everybody eats the same food, so it doesn't really matter. It's just like if you go to Africa, then if you go to the rural areas, everybody is poor basically. So everybody's perfectly happy being poor, but the same people under the same poverty in the big cities who are surrounded by nice tower flats and big cars and things like that, they have a completely different attitude towards poverty because they are constantly confronted by the fact that they don't have it and other people directly around them, they have everything.
I don't know, but this is a fact. But I try to study for next week this kind of fact they have. How come after the revolution, 60, 70 years later, but still they have 1 billion people is poor, and now what GDP sustained? Only 300 million. 1 million is poor, very poor, but only 300 million, like the same population of the United States. Those people are rich. Those people sustain their country, and the government cannot handle the other 1 billion. Because, I don't know, maybe it's impossible. I went there 10 years ago. That place is, common person cannot imagine how they're going to survive. But they are still survive many years. 1,000 years they live there, but it's impossible for me to survive this area. In May they have snow, and in September they got another cold season coming. So several months they can grow grain grows. So rice is impossible, wheat is impossible. What kind of food they can bring? But still they living million people there, 100 million people live there. But I don't know why, how they can sustain their life. But not several decades, 1,000 years they live there.
And why they stay there?
Before they lived in the cave.
There's so many people who move to everywhere.
No, I don't know. But human beings usually they don't move.
Well, that's not true. Human beings usually move.
I tell you that they live there,
But the people's like they move from Okinawa to Hawaii and they go overseas. They explore. In little boats. And these people are in China. They live in cold places. And just get out of your cave and walk south, and it's nice and warm.
They lived in the cave.
Food is good.
million people lived in cave, but those people, they never change.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is actually, I went there, also Yunnan province, I went there. Yunnan province also, many people lived in the
But it's
agriculture
it's really,
bean house.
it's really so interesting. I thought about that. Like, imagine that you are being born in United States, in Los Angeles, in South Central, for example. You live there in this. It's only 2-3 blocks. There's complete war going on. If you just get on the bus, get out of there, and go north to Santa Barbara or something, then life is completely different. Yet people choose to live there, to stay there. It's in the middle of the United States. There is so many better places to live, and yet people choose to live there. I don't understand it.
This is, I think, human being characteristics. I've been to the southern part of Yunnan province, and I went to the second largest city, not the largest, second largest city, and they opened, developing new city, and 200 shops there, 200 shops, and government subsidized those people. I went 200 shops, okay, let's cry, let's go. The local people take me to the place. 200 shops, everything the same. Selling same product, same thing. It means, okay, 6 months later, 1 year later, almost all gone.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know, because they don't know how to business. They subsidize the government, but they don't know how to sell. How doing business. These kind of people, and then going back, they all everything bankrupted, right? Disappeared, right? They're going back to the original place. They're going back home, and that's it. And many people live in an agriculture bean house, and I went there. Okay, this is a watermelon. Okay, watermelon, lot of watermelon. They live in greenhouse, and they have just a bed and something inside, and TV there, and very poor, right? Very poor, but they never move.
Well, maybe they're happy with it.
Possibly.
Exactly, they were happy.
Possibly.
Okay, I tell you, even if they don't have small food, they never mind. They eat, survive is okay. Happy, family there.
Yeah.
Why complain?
I think that it's okay to have different like definition of happiness. Like it's not everybody is not the same.
But there are people, like for South Central, people are dying there.
You
It's very dangerous. Kids cannot
misunderstand.
grow up there. They cannot go to school. They cannot.
Never mind.
South Central in Los Angeles, for example.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, but why do people stay there?
Why don't you ask them?
Oh, I want to ask them.
Interview them. Please.
Why? I really don't understand.
So,
Is it a cheap
I,
area to stay?
No, it's probably not so expensive.
I stayed 4 years in
Is
Shanghai.
it for the reason, economically?
Maybe. That's maybe
They
it's a
cannot
two
afford
family.
outside of the area. Or I
Okay,
don't know.
someday you should go to China, more, some local area,
Mhm.
and have a look, ask them to, I want to see some poverty people. You can have a look. Why they are so kind of low level people survive and they feel happy. They no complain.
They must be happy.
Well, I mean, happiness is not always related to material wealth. Actually, it seems to me that people who don't have anything tend to be at least as happy as people who have something to lose.
It's like only my wife, money, My case is I had a lot of money before. Oh, it's gone everything, but I'm not, I'm happy, even if I don't have money.
No, but actually, having a lot of money and having a lot of wealth also gives a lot of stress because you can lose it, right?
Okay, so this is mostly the problem is Westerners or Japanese people, rich people, they misunderstand who is poverty. Or poverty people is happy? No, they are happy. So this is a misunderstanding. We don't see our measurement, okay, to adopt for those people. Those people, value is different. Like, do you know the street, beggars? They are very happy. Ask them, they don't want to change. Now is there, okay, just for winter season, they can survive, they can difficult to survive. But southern part of South Asia, they don't need a house, and beggars, they're happy. they can eat, whatever they want, So this is, I think, we need to consider for their measurement. This is very difficult to judge who are poverty, who are rich is okay. Just this
It's
is
very
my
often it's
next week
relative.
decision criteria. Rich people are rich, but consider for China. China is 10 ranking rich people. 10 years later, everybody disappeared. Do you know why? It's bribes. Everybody disappeared. They are billion money they have, but recently most rich person disappeared, right? So if you're going to get a lot of money, a lot of real estate property, but it's very risky. 10 years later, he is gone somewhere, killed by officers.
Wow.
Yeah, this is 10 years before, 10 years later, different person. So very difficult to judge. Rich is some decision what defined. So which one is good or bad? I told my wife, I'm happy now. She told me I'm not happy. Ask her why. I don't have money. Money is, if you have money, you happy? She said, of course, only money. Crazy. Right? But why I'm talking that? Because before, 10 years ago, I had a lot of money. Okay? Million money I have. I have a lot of building I own. But this is so what? What do you want to buy? House? Or something, car? No, you don't need to. This is the same thing we can have. So we cannot guess why 1 billion Chinese people are poverty, very poor. Government do not handle for those people because they don't need to. They are satisfied. Communist society is stable, even if they are poor. That's the reason why they don't try to give them more better life. But problem is they got disease. What kind of cure they're going to handle for? No cure. If you get cancer, you should die. This is a kind of the problem. So the government try to handle for healthcare, right? Only healthcare. This kind they cannot go to hospital because hospital is not going to take care of them if they don't have money. This is the kind of rural problem. Rural. Sorry, I just today is almost finished.
One page.
A few cultural values in Vietnam, and a lot of them will be familiar when we look back at other countries in the region. Confucian work ethic, but Takashi says that maybe they don't work so hard. Duty and morality. The sense of duty and the sense of morality. So it's not ruthless; it's also with morale. It's not only money driven. Learning is highly.
They have morality.
Yes.
Morality is like something willingly do something.
Yes. So not money at all costs.
How about duty?
Sense of duty. Yes.
Sense of duty.
Yeah. Learning is highly valued, sense of sacrifice. I think that we've seen that people, well actually in recent war history, or actually throughout history, sacrifice has played an important role. Filial piety, resistance to foreigners, resistance to the French, resistance to the Chinese, resistance to Americans. Basically, independence is something that is highly valued. Nationalism, restraint, patience, and tenacious. Patience, tenacious. That's something that we will see when we dig into the recent war history, where we can see very clear examples of patience. That basically they use patience to outlast the American negotiators time and time again. America has made so many more concessions in the negotiations than the North Vietnamese did, And even the South Vietnamese, actually, both of them played the Americans as they wished, mainly because of their tenacious way of negotiating and their patience. Pride plays an important role. Pride also as an identifier, as something that preserves independence, self-respect, face as one of the Confucian values, especially in the north, Hanoi. Entrepreneurism. Entrepreneurism is more something that we find in Ho Chi Minh City. In the south, individualism. Economic liberalization is taking place step by step. We're not there yet, but it's becoming more liberal, and the salary gap is widening. So there's more divisions within the Vietnamese society. There are still a lot of problems with bureaucracy and corruption in Vietnam. That's one of the challenges that they need to overcome in order to get more economic ties with foreign countries. Unfortunately, it is 5 o'clock, and it's really zannet because I think that this part is one of the most interesting negotiation.
No, will we continue next?
Yeah, let's do
Or
it.
next time?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I will be here
Okay.
Next
Yeah.
week, huh?
next week. Yeah.
Next week I will not be here.
Okay,
Sorry
so
about that.
two-
I will be here on the 25th.
Okay, 3 weeks later.
Mm.
No problem.
25th, and so I'm looking for there's a German documentary, and it's so good, but I cannot find the English translation. It's interviews with Kissinger and
What do you mean German documentary?
Tho,
What?
the negotiators for North Korea and Henry Kissinger, the secret negotiation leaders.
So what is language? Not English.
It's
but
German.
German
And French.
Kissinger. Kissinger.
Yeah, Kissinger is some, but it's German documentary, so it has been nachsynchronisiert. So we hear a German voiceover.
Oh, okay.
Terrible. And Tho speaks French in the in the documentary, but it's very good to actually have the perceptions of the total different mindset of these two negotiators, to really understand what culture means in.
We can continue. I think I'll leave you, so we can still continue.
Okay, so definitely, I think that all these words about sacrifice and resistance to foreigners and patience all really start to mean something when we look into this war history. So, by all means, 25th, let's look into this, and
25th?
25th.